All right, so first question we have is, I'm 6 months into a new job, is there such thing as asking too many questions? I want to know everything I need to know, but I don't want to be annoying.
I feel like if you're asking this question, you might be worried you're annoying. So I don't think there's ever too many questions. Like, asking questions shows engagement, you're curious, you're interested. The only time that I would not recommend asking a lot of questions is when you're watching a movie. If you're I hate watching a movie with the people who ask questions the entire time. You're just like, shut the fuck up. Like, wait for the plot to unfold. Like, yes, it's raising a question if X is going to happen. Like, that's the whole point of a plot. So anyway, so don't ask a lot of questions in a movie. Sometimes I find myself asking a lot of questions in the movie, and then I have to like self-regulate. But I would say a couple things about asking questions at work. One is, try to answer the question yourself before you ask it. If you know the answer after spending a nanosecond thinking about it, don't ask that question. And really try to discern, why are you asking questions? Are you asking questions instead of taking initiative? Like, I find sometimes people are like, what do you do with this? And then I'm like, well, what do you think you should do with it? And then they say, I think I should do this. And that's what they should ultimately be doing. So sometimes you have the answers all along, so you have to really check yourself on that. I think the second thing is, find the right forum to ask questions, right? You don't want to be that girl or that guy who's like always asking a fucking question just as the meeting should be wrapping up and everybody wants to go get on with their lives and buy time that they'll never get back. But find a place to ask the question. So if you have a mentor at work or you have a manager at work who you feel comfortable with, write down all your questions, figure out the ones you can answer for yourself, and then use the one-on-one time that you have to ask the questions that you really need help with. And then the third is, don't ask the same question twice. I think that's very annoying to people. So make sure that when you get the answer, you're actually internalizing it or digesting it or applying it so that you don't keep asking the same question. But in general, I think it's great that you want to learn about your job, and I'm sure your job appreciates that too. I'm being told I have to nurture more. How do I go about doing that professionally? Ooh, nurture is a funny word. I just tried to, just for anybody listening to this, I just tried to answer this question, and we're just going to delete that whole thing and start over. So, all right, one is, nurturing is a funny word. It's a mothering word. It's a feminine word. It's a soft word. It's a word that really indicates care, and I think about like a baby chick or like a baby, like you want to nurture it. What your work is telling you is that you're probably too harsh, too aggressive, too blunt, and too directive. You're not nurturing. You're not letting things incubate and grow and have care and softness around them. I think it's a strange word to ask someone to be nurturing at work. I think that that's interesting about where you work and the type of culture you have, that's the ask. The first thing I would ask yourself is, do you fit the culture of the company you're working in, or are you just way out in left field and there's a bunch of baby chicks under heat lamps and you're out there with like a shotgun? Like, where are you in your workplace? I think you got to ask yourself that. I think the second thing is, every human at work is in fact human. So you're going to have moments of great care and exemplary behavior and positivity and can-do-ness. And then you're gonna have moments where you're like the movie Inside Out and you have like a shit ton of reactions and 99% of them are inappropriate. It is possible to be directive. It is possible to be effective. It is possible to be good and great at your job and to care and nurture people at the same time. And I think the best way to achieve anything close to any of that is to listen as much as you can, to take your personal reaction, your personal immediate reaction to something and try to mute it as much as possible, to be thoughtful in your response, to be open in your demeanor, to be calm in your approach. And that would be my best advice for getting to being nurturing at work. I actually oddly think Barstool is a highly nurturing environment and a completely cold, rough, and abrasive environment all at the same time. That's kind of why I like it. Also, side note on this one, great point from Rachel, is Do you think men are told to be nurturing? I don't think men are told to be nurturing in general. Maybe the new generation of adult men are more nurturing, like being a beta is more nurturing by design. But in general, I don't think men are told to be more nurturing. And it's kind of funny for a woman to be told to be more nurturing at work. Like, is that in fact sexist? Hey, Dave, be more nurturing.
Yeah.
But someone would say, hey, Erica, be more nurturing. Because the expectation is that as a woman, you are supposed to be. Like, you have that in you. That's your job. That's your gender function. Very interesting. That was a loaded question.